Coaching and Pet Care, and I'm here with Leia. Leia just got here for her board and train, and so we're going to work with her just starting on some sit drills. We've already done a little bit of leash work with her, but she's not taking food right now. It's day one. That's totally normal. And so we're just going to use the leash to walk her through the process of learning the sit command. And she knows it somewhat, but firming up all these obedience commands. So I'm just going to do a few drills with her and see what we get. All right, let's go. So normally I would have used a clicker and food. That'll be happening as soon as she's got a little more food drive. They've been doing a bit of free feeding with her, so she's not, and again, it's day one. Oftentimes they don't know what's happening. They're a little nervous, so they might not take food right away. That's okay. And if you're food training your dog, if you're gonna start food training your dog, food training is awesome. It means that's how they earn their food. No food goes in a bowl. It all comes from hand, and we reward them for doing the different things, like sit and down and coming and called, all that, using their food. We don't use treats, only their actual kibble. So, but again, not uncommon for them at first to not want to take food. A lot of times they're not very hungry. Their food drive is in the toilet. And so over the next few days, we'll be building her food drive. So I'm just going to use the leash. Let's go. Sit. Good. Feet very well. Break. Sit. Good. Break. So we did have a little bit earlier, a little bit of her jumping up and trying to bite the leash and stuff. Again, remember, a lot of times when these dogs come here, they're used to a lot of freedoms, a lot of kind of getting away with bad behavior, and so they're going to try different things. They don't know us. I totally respect that. They don't know us. They're like, who the heck are you? Telling me what to do. I don't want to do that. And that's okay. We're just patient and persistent and kind and work them through it. Let's go. Sit. Good. Sit. Good. So Andre has already worked with her a bit. So normally before we start using the command, we just use leash pressure and food normally. Food to lure and leash pressure to get them into command. But he's been working with her a little bit today, and so I am adding the command at this point. So just before I use leash pressure, I say the word. So I give the command and then a little bit of upward leash pressure, not much. Sometimes you can underwhelm your dog, sometimes you can overwhelm your dog. There's no yanking, it's just a slow, steady, I just want to use enough pressure to communicate with her. It's a little bit like up and a little bit back to help her get into that sitting position. As soon as her bottom hits the ground, I mark it with good and release the pressure. And then what that teaches the dog is when they feel this, okay, that means to sit. And the sooner they sit, the sooner that pressure goes away. Let's go. Sit. Good. Okay? And the pressure doesn't come off until their bottom hits the ground. So it's not pulsing, it's not yanking, it's not popping. It's just a slow, steady upward pressure. And then their bottom hits the ground, you say good and release the pressure. Break. Sit. Good. Break. Sit. Good. It's not a lot of pressure, okay? Some dogs you need a little bit more, but and Andre needed to use a little bit more with her in the beginning. Sometimes you have to help them out by pushing their butt down a little bit. That's okay. Break. Sit. Good. Break. As they go along, let's go. It just gets easier and easier because number one, they understand what you're asking, but number two, they also understand that, it's gonna happen. You're making it happen. So, your patience and your persistence, they don't have a choice, basically. Let's go. We need them to listen. Sit. Good. Sit. Good. That's good. Andre did all the heavy lifting. Sit. This is much easier than when he was doing it. Good. Okay, so this is just the beginning. I'm just doing drills, which are just quick, take a step or two, have the dog sit, release, take a step or two, have the dog sit, release, repeat, repeat, repeat. Then we're gonna add a little bit of duration, which is, having the dog hold that position before we release them. Good girl. Sit. Good. Also, being able to move around, move away. If she were to start to get up, I would simply repeat the command, raise the leash up, apply pressure again, and then repeat. Break. Good. Again, this is all new to her. Sit. Good. Sit. There we go. Good. So this is the beginning of her learning that sit means to sit and stay. We don't use the word stay. We teach sit down and place with an implied stay, which means, again, the command itself includes stay. It means to do that thing and keep doing it. Okay? So again, at first I'm not going to ask her to sit for very long. Sit. Good. Good. Just me moving around is a distraction. Good. Break. And once she's taking food, I'll reward her with food. Let's go. Sit. Good. Good. Sit. Good. So it's just that simple, right? She starts to move out of position. I just repeat the command and guide her back into position with the leash. Good. Break. Good. So this is just the learning phase, though. This is just the very beginning of her learning this command. So there's no correcting the dog when they move out of position at this point, because she's just learning that she's got to hold that position. So it'll be a little while before we correct her for breaking command. Once we know that she fully understands the command and then she breaks command, that's a whole different story. But this is just the learning phase. This is just how you start, okay? So again, this is Leia, beginning of the sit command. Once again, Andre already worked with her a little bit, so if I had just started with her with the sit, I wouldn't even be using the command. I would just be using the leash to guide her in position, do lots of reps of that. Once she was doing that pretty well, then I would add the command. There's a saying, name it when you like it, which means add the word once they're doing the thing fairly easy, okay? You don't want to be saying sit when you're having to pretty much like force your dog physically, pushing them down, whatever, or they're really resisting. You don't want to put the word or the command to that behavior. So get them doing the thing that you want them to do with food. Again, typically we use food and all that. Once they are, then you add the command in, okay? So if you guys have any questions about anything, or need help, question about training your dog, feel free to post it in the comments section, or you can always email me at info@gooddogcoaching.com. info@gooddogcoaching.com. Take care. Bye.